Are we live? Is this live? Are you there? Can anybody hear me? Um, somebody suggested I should do a live listen of Pink Floyd's Meddle album from 1971. Might as well do it, you know. Here it is. This is the awful Discovery edition with the terrible artwork and the terrible triangles on the disc. I'm going to load the disc into my player, and then I will count you in. Get in there, cow son. So this should be fun. Oh, I don't think we haven't done one about Pink Floyd before, have we? I don't know. So anyway, this should give you enough time to grab your copy of Meddle. Hope you've grabbed it. And I'll begin to cue you up. Are you ready? Are you ready at the back there? Right. 3, 2, 1. We're in. That caught you off guard, didn't it? So this album is the band's sixth, can you believe that? Sixth studio album. It was released on the 30th of October 1971. And you know, you could say it's probably their last gasp at being a progressive rock band. It opens, can you hear the wind? The wind's blowing. Ooh. Boom, 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 boom. Hear the bass? Dun, 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 dun. Again, the title of the album is actually a play on the word medal, as in give someone a medal. Medal, medal. What do you want? A medal? So there you go. And the opening track is One of These Days. Or give it its full title, One of These Days, I'm going to cut you into little pieces. Now, you've got the bass guitar. It's played through an echo pedal. So you've got this great sound going on, lots of backward things thrown in. Lots of sound effects. Basically, it's Doctor Who, isn't it? Oh, dum de dum da dum da dum da dum da dum da wah 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 wah. When they played it live, they used to sometimes do the Doctor Who theme on guitar. Got to wait for the drums to come in. So yeah, it's very different to anything else Floyd had done before. It's instantly, you know, gripping, especially all the backwards percussion that you can hear playing. And here come the drums, boom, 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 like cannons going off, boom, 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 boom. And you've got the Gilmour's guitar groaning. I mean, they're not doing anything. They're just making noises. Dum. Boom. So yeah, I mean, the bass line to this is very similar to what they did on Sheep. Tremolo effect. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, it all goes mono, and you got this tremolo noise. Whoa, 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 whoa. See Doctor Who? Where's a TARDIS when you need one? But yeah, that effect on the bass line was reused later on Animals with Sheep. So, you know, it's pretty an iconic sound. But yeah, I would imagine that's oh, here come the drums. Stays. cut you into little pieces. Again, the vocals are put through a ring modulator and slowed down to make them sound quite unearthly. And now the band are just off rocking. Of course, the best version of this is on the Live at Pompeii DVD, where you can see the band going through the motions. I love the bit where Nick Mason loses a drumstick and then he grabs another stick and carries on as if nothing's happened. Just love that. But it's bluesy, it's dirty, it's the blues. It's just a kind of punked up blues. He's using the slide guitar there. Wow. Richard Wright vamping on the keyboards. But it's the drums that really drive the track. The drums and the lead guitar. All along, that bass is underpinning. It's the heartbeat. Get a little roll in there just to break it up slightly, Oh, that's the stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's a great opening to an album. In fact, I mean, it's almost that they've a bit premature with it. I mean, I'd probably sequence it later in the album, maybe at the end of the side one, but they go in straight as side one, first track, Bamo. And it is Nick Mason who does the vocal take on this. I think it's the only time Nick Mason does any vocals on a Floyd track. So, and there it goes, whoosh, they've gone, and back to the sound effects of the wind blowing. The wind, which leads us nicely into A Pillow of Winds, which is a very laid-back track, very acoustic. Here it comes. Again, it's quite different for the band. You really get the feeling that it's Dave Gilmour's influence very much on show here. You've got double track vocals there to make them sound a bit thicker. Again, you've got the slide guitar from Gilmour, which is becomes a predominant sound in the Floyd arsenal. Fretless bass, Again, it's almost country and western in its approach. It's quite eerie. The minor key stuff going on there. Again, we're on about the passage of time again. Again, it's very ethereal, very dreamlike. A reference to an eider down as well. And that roots us very firmly in England. The green fields and lots of slide guitar happening there. But yeah, it's the third song to mention Eider Down. Flaming and Julia Dream also mention an Eider Down, which, if you're in America, an Eider Down is like a big sheet, big heavy soft sheet you put on a bed. Don't tend to get Eider Downs anymore, but I used to like having one on my bed all those years ago. We have duvets now. It's all gone down the route of the duvet. Duvet just doesn't have the same ring to it as Eider Down though. So yeah, with this one, Gilmour is responsible for the music, and Roger Waters does the lyrics. Oh, here we go. It's a very sweet, middle section. Oh, used the volume pedal on there. Just adds an extra dimension to the guitar playing. Back into it. You know what I find amazing is how the band go from this album, effectively from this album to Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, it's the same band, but very different music. I mean, this, it's very bluesy and, like I say, almost got a country feel to it. And then we jump to Dark Side of the Moon, and it's taken on a much more bigger sound. I find that jump quite amazing. Especially when you listen to those previous albums, you wonder how they got there. It's always that's always fascinated me. I do love that slide guitar. It just sounds so great. I should definitely try and take it up again myself. So that's it. The song kind of dribbles out of existence. It doesn't really resolve itself. It just you know kind of just fades out. So, but it is a dreamy kind of song. Don't expect it to do any other thing. So the next song up is Fearless. Again, Gilmour and Waters have got a co-write on this. I love that chord progression. I just love that. It rises, rising chord progression. And you can hear "You'll Never Walk Alone," Liverpool, Anfield. Again, this song is about being belligerent, doing things in your own time, Me try climbing. So now choose the time, and I'll climb that hill in my own way. And this is what it's about, you know. It's all about the right time, not to, even if somebody dares you to do something, it's about taking control of that situation. So in the crowd, I look down, sounds, things you said today. I love this song, I really do. Because there's a bit of aggression to it, but it's laid back. You kind of got a kick to it. It's like a bit of but it's a kind of a hippie sentiment behind it. It's a strange contradiction. But again, it's about authority telling you what to do, and you say no. I'm gonna be independent. I'm gonna do it in my own mind. I'll do it. I'll get the job done. And there's no harm in being like that. Unless, of course, it's to your own detriment, then, but we all learn. That's what becoming an adult is all about. It's about learning when to back down and when to compromise. It's been a long time since I've listened to this one, actually, so It's quite nice to dig it out. I think this is probably my favourite Floyd album actually, so that's why I was quite keen to give it a listen. See, Fearless and Idiot. See, there's a bit of stupidity when it comes to being, fearless. Somebody goes, "Oh, he's fearless." Fine line between, clever and stupid. The magistrate represents authority again. It's the fool who wears the crown. But again, it's that thing about authority and not being perturbed by it. Every day is the right day. And the crowd down, sound of the things she said out. Dum digga digga dum dum dum. And I just love the interplay between the guitars. It's really cool, they've got the stereo separation of guitars there. Roger Waters plays acoustic guitar on this as well as Dave Gilmour. That's a real highlight of the album for me, this one. It almost sounds like a banjo at that point, that guitar, but it's got a kind of banjo twang to it. Again, it's very countrified. Just when you listen to it, you think, yeah, almost like country and western music, which is far removed from progressive rock as you're going to get. And then we have You Never Walk Alone, the Rodgers and Hammerstein song, adopted by Liverpool Football Club, a hit for Jerry and the Pacemakers. Again, it's about standing up for yourself, So that's really what that whole song's all about, standing up and being counted and being an idiot at the same time. We hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. There you go. And it doesn't bring you out of music, fun enough. It seems to sit really nicely at the end there. And it's mixed out now. And then we go in a completely opposite direction with the following song, Saint-Tropez. This is a solo track written by Roger Waters and sing on it as well. Again, Saint-Tropez is the south of France. It represents money, wealth, the high classes, And again, the characters imagining what it must be like, to be in Saint-Tropez and have the money that comes with it, Home, home, home. And it seems really out of step with where we are on the rest of the. It's materialistic, Far-flung thoughts together. We're in a new day. Now come home, home, home. Again, more slide guitar from Gilmour. But again, it's out of step with the rest of the album because again, it's a materialistic song about being up in the world. Whereas the rest of the album's a bit more nebulous. It's a bit more, I wouldn't say it's necessarily spiritual, but it's not about matters of material wealth. It's more matters of the soul and the spirit. It's a nice little song, but kind of, I don't know, it's a bit jarring, really. Calling to me. Again, it's a kind of straight ahead song. There's not much to comment over it, really. I mean, it's pretty. And you get this kind of off key vamped keyboard solo, and piano. Again, it's as far away from the Floyd as you can imagine. Again, listen to this, and then listen to Dark Side of the Moon. You think, is this the same band? It's just bizarre. But again, this is Waters bringing in a song that's fully formed. That's completed. It's got his character all over it. So yeah, this is kind of jazzy. It's kind of jazzy now. So we've gone from country and western to jazz. There's lots of different influences in there, and again, that kind of relates to what I was saying about progressive rock, using different musical styles and mixing them up a bit. So, like I say, this is really their last gasp as a prog band. Next song up is Seamus. And it's about the dog, isn't it? Isn't it an Irish wolfhound? Which apparently belonged to Steve Marriott of the Faces. Sorry, Small Faces. Again, this is very much a blues song. Open D tuning, slide guitar, dog howling. And again on was it Live in Pompeii? Did a different version of this called Mademoiselle Nobbs. I think it was a reference to Claude Nobbs. And there you have the dog howling there. It's funny because my old dog, when I used to get the harmonica out, she used to howl as well. Something about the harmonica, I think, Do 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 do. Again, it's very much a straight ahead blues track, it's all right. I could do without it. I think I usually skip this one. I must admit. Again, if we drop this one off the album, I mean, it's only 2 minutes long, I think. They're a much more rounded record. We could just get on with Echoes, which is the one we want. The money shot. It's the one we want to get to. Do do. Oh, poor dog. So anyway, if we had a vinyl, we'd be flipping it over to Echoes, which is there it is. Always reminds me of Sonar on a submarine, but again, it's a piano put into a Leslie speaker to get that kind of sound, but it does remind me of Sonar, yeah, ping ping. Again, you get the feeling of being underwater. It's a very aquatic song. It's a group composition. Originally called Nothing, parts 1 to 24. Son of Nothing, a return of the Son of Nothing. And yeah. So we go, we've got the guitar coming in, keyboards. Everything, again, the keyboards in the middle are very highly treated. Very subtle bass playing there. Just picking out the root notes. Boom, 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 as in as a foundation. Again, it's bluesy. So I think it's mainly in the key of C. Here we go. Backward effects on the drums again. Echoing one of these days. It kind of relates back to that song. Boom, 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 boom. And the vocals on this are shared between Richard Wright and David Gilmour. They do a good job of doubling up the vocals. Very sympathetic voices. They do complement each other well. But again, this is very much an atmosphere piece. Again, it's almost like film music. Dum, boom, boom, boom. Again, live at Pompeii, you've got them walking across volcanic rocks, and that's very, very iconic. I must stop referring to that one. The albatross. Albatross is always regarded as an unlucky bird. Under the water, labyrinths of coral caves. Wow. So an echo from the past is sent forth. Towards the sky. So it's coming up from the bottom of the sea. And of course, that phrase there, da, 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 boom. People have often, Roger Waters has accused Andrew Lloyd Webber of stealing it for Phantom of the Opera, So you go and listen to Phantom of the Opera and listen to this. Very similar chord sequence. In Amused to Death, Waters actually talks about Lloyd Webber's hands being cut off by the piano lid falling on his hands. Again, it's a reference to the song being stolen from him. Yeah, they are very similar. But again, this section is about people being, having an empathy, even though they're necessarily strangers. It's about sharing a human experience, you see. Again, this is an idealised song, Imagine a time if we, even without words, we shared the same thought, we moved in the same direction, we had empathy for everyone. It's a very, like I say, idealised vision of humanity. But it's a nice dream. It'd be nice if we all got on like that. And again, we have that theme, da 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 da, Phantom of the Opera. Don't mention that to Roger; he gets very upset. So there we go. So that's the opening section. And now, wow, the band get to drift off. We get to improvise and vamp. But I can imagine quite a few people have enjoyed this with various pharmaceuticals and herbal remedies. I have dilute orange juice. That's the kind of guy I am. That's the way I rock. I've got to get up early, take the kids to school. I shouldn't be doing this. This is far too late of a night. Sleep's for wimps. I'll sleep when I'm dead. So again, the guitars are screaming. Gilmour's wringing the last drop of vitality from his Strat. It's just really great stuff. I really do like it. Okay, could do with a little bit of editing, but I think notice that edit there, and now the production sounds all different. It's more like now I'm going reggae. Yeah, man. Shouldn't do stuff like that. People accuse me of being racist, but we've got this reggae beat coming on, vamping on the keys there, and on the organ. Boom, 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 boom. Go on. So you've got this nice rhythm going. That means they can all vamp. They can all just improvise. There's lots of space for them to experiment. Gilmour's got the floor. I mean, I really do like the production on this bit. The drums and the bass are so tight, so crisp. And you got two lots of keyboards panned far and wide, and a bass in the middle. Drums, lovely stereo drums going on there. Gilmour smack bang in the stereo field, just doing what he wants. It's a marvellous bit of production. It really is, because you can hear everything. It's really separated. It's all there for you to hear. And you can, if you move your consciousness to one ear to the other, you can pick up the various elements of it and how the keys are playing off each other. Baka, 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 baka. Very percussive playing. Again, he's reacting to the drums. Richard Wright is just he's just following the lead of Mason. Waka, 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 so just following the drums. And all the while, Gilmour's just spanking that plank. Again, it's very self-indulgent. Again, here we go. Just when you think he's stopped, he comes back again. But musically, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's not going to scare the horses. It's very simple stuff. But it's the way it moves. It's the way it moves together. The way it's knitted. It's very solid. It's that syncopated playing. It's just it gets you. It's almost like a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. That's why I think it gets you. It's like a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. And then we fade out. And you can hear seagulls. He does little seagull noises with his guitar. We're out, we're out in the sea. We're out in the deep ocean now. We can imagine, can't we? We can use our imaginations to imagine we're in the deep, deep ocean where the dark things live with tentacles and many arms and white teeth and beaks. So, now the mood changes. It's music concrete now. It's reminiscent of is it Georgie Ligeti? Always get his name wrong. The kind of things he does with classical music with discordant voices. They could use this on 2001. In fact, they probably watched too much 2001 before they made this. So again, it's all about atmospheres now. It's all about a mood and a place. Maybe they're thinking, hey, we could get our fans to have a bad trip, by altering the scene. Oh, what's that meant to be? Is that a whale calling us? Call and response. Call and response. Two whales, a dolphin, perhaps. Who knows? Use your imaginations. But we're at the bottom of the sea. Oh yeah, definitely. Lots of echo on that. Oh. Oh. It's quite scary. I'm surprised it's not been used in a horror film. There's not much to say with all these drones and squeaks and pops. On the far left, it sounds like I can hear crows cawing. I mean, some say this is like you can sync this up with 2001, and this could also be representing flying over an alien landscape. I prefer to keep the aquatic theme going again, especially as there's water on the album cover and there's an ear underwater. I like to think of it being more marine, a marine song. So we're coming out of that section now. Keyboards are coming in again. And there you hear the piano through the Leslie speaker. It echoes. We're back to the beginning of echoes again with the sonar noise, the sonar ping. There we are. So maybe it's a submarine that's at the bottom of the ocean that we're seeing. Maybe it's a submarine that's observing the dawn of this undersea intelligence that's risen to the top of the ocean. Who knows? Again, it's all about atmosphere. They're building up tension with this piece. You can feel tension building. You know, you can feel it. And there you can hear guitars slowly coming in. And these guitars have been panned. They're very stereo. You know, both sides of the stereo field. And again, the changing of chord changes. You know, again, ramping up the tension. Gilmour's guitars are getting slightly louder. Yeah. It's building up. Now they're overpowering now. Drums come in. Boom, boom. Little bit of a drum roll there for Mason. Again, they're building up to something. They're building it up. So we've gone from a period of almost like nothingness to this sense of moving forward. Boom, boom, boom. It's very subtle though. It's very, very subtle. Boom, boom. And they mix everything in really well. It's great how each element comes in. The bass is in there, you know, just in the background, just holding down those root notes. Little melody being played on the keyboard now. Lots of work on the splash cymbal. Oh! Mason's really going for it on the smash cymbal. Ready? Dun, 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 dun. Release. Dun, dun, dun. Love those guitars. Dun, 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 dun. So you got two Dave Gilmours playing. You know, they complement each other. Different key. Got this big swirly bit of guitar in the middle. Wow, he's everywhere. That Gilmour. He's everywhere. Dum, 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 dum. And now we're off and running again. Got to build up some more tension. Boom, 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 boom. I've got the guitar making all those lovely big. He's using the whammy bar to make that. Here we go. And we're back. And it resolves itself. We return to the opening section. Exciting me to rise. And on sunlight wings, million white ambassadors of morning. Boom, 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 bada. It's just trademark Mason, that is. It's my eyes. You across the sky, aye, aye, aye. Again, it's about free will again. No one tells me, you know, when to rise, open my eyes. It's about free will. Back to fearless. It's about, you know, doing what you want. Shouting out the window, you know, calling out to someone, a stranger. Hey, brother, we're the same. We feel the same thing. And so, It resolves itself. Repeat of the main theme, the Phantom of the Opera theme. Right, and off we go. Ready? Oh, so it's voices. We're gonna end all bluesy, all right? Oh, listen to that. Really subtle drumming. And then again, the keys and the guitar are playing off each other. Lovely separation there. Very mellow. But then, all of a sudden, those Ligeti style voices come back. And it really does sound like something from 2001. During Beyond the Infinite, And again, there's no big ending to this. They're just going to bring the faders down and fade up the voices, so you're left kind of hanging there with these off-key voices. And again,